Welcome to the People Leaders Podcast, the audio resource for managers and business leaders creating high-performing teams. Join leadership and team development experts Jan and Michelle Turkelson each week as they explore both subjects from every angle. Through practical tips, valuable insights, and compelling interviews with leadership experts around the world, you'll learn how to bring out the best in your staff and how to give your best as a leader.
Hello, Michelle. Morning, Jan. So we're in the car doing a little bit of a road trip. So we thought we would use our time.
We're taking it to the masses.
That's right. So we wanted to share with you a process that we share with managers doing one-on-one catch-ups and having, those regular conversations. And we find that once you can get yourself into a pattern or a structure, they're just more effective.
That's right. And I think some managers don't have a process and a structure for having a one-on-one catch-up, so they become a bit transactional. So what we're going to do is step you through a 4-step process and give you some structure on how to have a really good, effective one-on-one catch-up.
Yeah, and so the 4 steps is to follow up.
Yeah, so follow up meaning what do you need to follow up with with the person that reports to you from the last session. So is there something, a commitment that you made, or is there a commitment that person made that you need to follow up?
Yeah, and hopefully by now you would have been in a pattern of taking notes. So what are your notes telling you? What does your email say that you need to actually follow up on? The second one?
Yeah, so the second one is to share any information that you have with that individual. So you would be privy to a lot more information than they are about what's happening in the organisation. You've been to meetings where there's information flowing, so it's beholden on you to share that with your report.
Yeah, so even what meetings have you attended that you've learned some new insider information?
That's right, or we're rolling out a new culture model, or there are some changes in the IT system coming up. I just want to give you the heads up on that. Anything that you feel, everyone wants to be in the know, yeah? So keep your people in the know.
Good. And so the third part to this one-on-one catch-up
is feedback. So is there any feedback, affirmative, some form of acknowledgement, or any corrective feedback that you need to give them? So, is there a red flag that's starting to raise its head that you need to, sort of cut off at the pass? Or is there something that you can acknowledge this person for? That they've been doing really well.
That's right, and it might be something about what behaviours do I want to focus on, because you've learnt that, there is a repositioning around how we want to manage our culture and create a sense of achievement focus. So am I, can I focus more on that achievement focused behaviour?
Yeah, and so when we're talking about feedback, it doesn't always have to be about behaviour, and it doesn't always have to be about performance and task. It's all, try and balance it basically.
Yeah, and so the fourth area in our one-on-one catch-ups is delegation.
That's right. So can you use this as an opportunity to delegate a task, a project, something to get it off your plate, but also use it as an opportunity to develop your people? And that's the other thing, is that, there's a development. Is there a development opportunity that I could provide for this person?
That's right. Or, some of the questions you might ask, what steps have they taken in their development plan, and what support can you actually provide with them? So you'll see we have a template attached, and we've got a number of coaching questions to support a really good, robust discussion for you. And we just want to finish off with a couple of tips around, how to have an effective one-on-one conversation.
Yeah, so a really important one, Jan, is try never to cancel your one-on-one catch-ups. You are sending a message when you cancel. And if you have to cancel, then absolutely. So don't call it a cancel, you're just rescheduling it. Yeah, so book it straight away for a new time. Try and have it at the same time every week, fortnight. Yeah, tip 2. The other one is it's all about the place sometimes, the environment.
Make them private.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the other one is...
And I just want to say a little bit more about that, Michelle, is that what you think is private, like the corner of the canteen, isn't private to some people. So just be mindful of different personality styles. Really, if you're going to have a one-on-one, I would book a room. Yeah?
Yeah, good point.
So another tip?
Yeah, another tip is the taking of notes. So some people have said to us, but if I'm taking notes, then, I've got all the power and maybe they should be taking notes. And it's like, just have a discussion with your, with the person and say, so how do you want to do this? Well, I take the notes and you take a photo. However, if you've committed to doing something, take the notes and follow up. You are sending a message that this is important enough for me to write it down and do something with that, and you would encourage them to do the same.
Yeah.
So that you're both on the same page.
Yeah, and I would also encourage people to take ownership of, their own feedback. And if I was a manager, I would invite people just to reconfirm or reaffirm what it is that you all agreed to. So for them to email the manager back with what we have agreed. So again, there is this clarity around actions and support and things that we've discussed. Another tip is the time frame. How much time you're actually going to spend.
Yeah, so there are a couple of options here, and one is, the 15-15 approach, so 30 minutes. Don't think that catch-ups have to be like an hour. 30 minutes, 20 minutes is fine. If it's 30 minutes, have the first 15 minutes for them and the next 15 minutes for you, or you can have 15 minutes going through the process and then the next 15 minutes focusing on career development. It is really up to you and the other person. Just discuss what's going to work for you.
Yeah. And the last tip we wanted to share with you is just to revisit an excellent feedback model, which is the SBIN model. And S is for describing the situation. So this is where you describe the current reality. So it's not opinion, it's really just facts and specifics. So this is a really objective approach.
Yeah, so Simon, so here's an example. So Simon, last week when you were giving the presentation to our key stakeholders, I thought you did a great job at stepping them through the key issues, particularly on slide 1 and 7. You outlined it really well, very clearly.
Right. And so then you moved into B, the behaviours. So this is more subjective. You did it really well, but you stepped through it. You might have talked about his style or his pacing, so be a little bit more subjective.
Yeah. And then the next, so with that, Simon, what I noticed is that our stakeholders, their eyes lit up. They started to take notes. They were very positive, engaged. Yeah, talking with one another after the presentation, particularly about those slides.
And so what you've just described, Michelle, is the impact of that behaviour. So we've done the situation, the behaviour, and the impact of that behaviour. And the end part of the SBIN model is
So what next? What now? And that is, so Simon, what I think might be a good idea is to follow them up with an email, thanking them for the participation and offering to send them the slide deck. So that is a wrapping up, a closing out.
Yeah. So let's just reiterate the 4 steps of our one-on-one catch-ups. The first one is follow up.
Yep. The next one is to share.
And the third is feedback, which can be corrective, constructive.
Yep, affirmative. And the next one is to delegate or develop.
Great. So we hope that you practice.
Practice.
Yeah,
give it a go.
That's right, because you can get good at anything if you have those 2 elements. Quality, which is you're going to get feedback from that, and practice. Just do it, embody it.
And let us know how you go.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us on the People Leaders Podcast. For show notes and other resources, please visit us at peopleleaderspodcast.com. If you have a leadership or management question or subject you'd like covered on the podcast, please contact us at podcast@peopleleaders.com.au. The People Leaders Podcast is brought to you by the Experts On Air Podcast Network.